Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So who will Manchester United sign? Ousmane Dembele, Ismaila Sarr or Jadon Sancho? Now, according to Sky Sports, Manchester United are in advanced talks to sign Ousmane Dembele. We are looking to get him on loan. We are seeing him as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. He did say that Ousmane Dembele would cost us in the region of around £50 million if we was to get him permanently. Now, Barcelona are looking to cash in on the player so they can get Memphis Depay on the board. But Ousmane Dembele has come out and said that he wants to stay at Barcelona and fight for his place. Now, my only element of concern about Ousmane Dembele is that he is injury prone. He's sustained quite a few injuries as a Barcelona player. In total, he has made 75 appearances for Barcelona. He has still got a contract with them until 2022. Barcelona did get him for around £135 million from Borussia Dortmund back in 2017. Barcelona paid 97 million up front with 40 million, I think, in add-ons. I thought Ousmane Dembele was good when he was at Borussia Dortmund. Before he was at Borussia Dortmund, he was at Rennes. Like I said on my video I did this morning, Barcelona have sold a couple of their players recently. They let Luis Suarez go. They let Arturo Vidal go. There's rumours of Coutinho leaving them. There's also been rumours of Antoine Griezmann leaving. Ousmane Dembele is only the age of 23. He can play as a left winger and he can also play as a right winger, and I think he can also be deployed as a striker. But yeah, the news regarding Ousmane Dembele was also stemming from the AS, which I think is a Spanish outlet. Ismaila Sarr, now I think we are seeing him as another alternative to Sancho. He's another cheaper solution than Sancho. I think Ismaila Sarr would cost us around £40 million. It said not so long ago that Borussia Dortmund were interested in him. Now, he's proven in the Premier League, because I think he's been in the Premier League like a year now, because Watford did get Ismaila Sarr last year. They paid around £30 million for him from Rennes. Before he was at Rennes, he was at Metz. But when he signed for Watford, he signed a 5-year contract with them. So I think he's under contract with Watford until 2024. Liverpool have recently been interested. I still think, there's a good chance that Manchester United could sign Jadon Sancho. Now, Jadon Sancho believes his move to Manchester United will happen before deadline day on Monday, and he's told his agent to do everything he can to ensure that he gets his move to Old Trafford. Now, Simon Stone said, who's from the BBC and reliable, he said Man United have had another offer turned down for Sancho. Sky Sports came out yesterday, which is obviously a very reliable source. They said Man United had a £91.3 million bid turned down from Borussia Dortmund for Sancho. So we offered like 73 million up front with 18 million in add-ons. But the bid we'd submitted, if it had been accepted, that would have made Sancho our most expensive signing and the most expensive English player in history. But Borussia Dortmund have said they want £108 million. And throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because we've not been determined to meet what they're demanding. Now, I believe Sancho has agreed personal terms with Man United, and he's agreed a 5-year contract with the club worth 340 grand a week. But we've not yet come to an agreement on a fee. Sancho has been dropped from Borussia Dortmund's squad for their game tonight against Bayern Munich in the German Super Cup, so you can say that's fueled speculation up. Don't forget Sebastian Kehl, Borussia Dortmund's head of football. He said a few weeks ago that Sancho's staying at Dortmund. Lucien Favre, their boss, he said the exact same thing. Michael Zorg, their sporting director, also insists that Sancho will be staying. And Marco Reus, who currently plays for Dortmund, he said Sancho will stay at Dortmund for one more year. But around 4 or 5 weeks ago, Sancho to Manchester United did look dead in the water, didn't it? Because Dortmund said to us in August that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline to sign Sancho, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. It also mentioned that we'd abandoned our chase for the player until next summer. But one thing we've confirmed, we are not giving up on the signing of the player, and he does remain our number one priority target. You can understand Solskjaer's frustration regarding this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, because it has gone on for a while now, because we have been in for him for like the last 3 years. Solskjaer has held new conversations with Sancho this week, but he's held several talks with him anyway. But I think Solskjaer's convinced that we will sign the player. And I think Sancho does want to come to Manchester United. Sancho's enjoyed a few years with Borussia Dortmund, hasn't he? And he's been a revelation since his arrival in Germany. Sancho has got a contract with Dortmund until 2022. You know, Dortmund paid just £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. He enjoyed a couple of years at Man City, but the main explanation why he left City is because he didn't get assured any first-team opportunities. If Sancho was sold, I think it wouldn't only be good from a Man United perspective, it'd also be good from a City perspective, because I think they'd get around 15% of the transfer fee. We know that Sancho will be our next number 7 if he comes in, because we've confirmed we will give him the number 7. We have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But we've looked at a lot of alternatives to Sancho in recent weeks. Not only Ousmane Dembele and Ismaila Sarr, we've looked at Douglas Costa, we've looked at Ivan Perisic, we've looked at Antoine Fati Vieira, we've looked at Rabbi Matondo before. We've also inquired about getting David Brooks on the board because there's cheaper solutions than him. So that's the breaking news on Jadon Sancho. As it stands though, at the moment, Manchester United have only made one signing, and that was Donny van de Beek. Don't get me wrong, you know, Donny van de Beek has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He did well in our 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa in pre-season. He did well on the opening day in the 3-1 defeat to Palace. You know, came on and scored on his Premier League debut. Also did well in the Luton game. And he did well in the Brighton game at the weekend when he came on. We got Donny van de Beek in a deal worth £40 million. Donny van de Beek signed a 5-year deal with Man United. There's also an option of a further year, and he currently wears a number 34 shirt. But Solskjaer said he wants to make around 2 or 3 more signings after Donny van de Beek, because these still key areas where we are lacking. Like I've mentioned, we need a right winger. We need a left back, obviously. We're also, we've been trying to get a centre-half in, but I think we're looking to get a centre-half next summer now, because we need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. We have got around 7 centre-halves in our team at the moment. But Solskjaer has said quite a lot of times throughout the course of this summer transfer window that he has been frustrated with the board. Main explanation is over the lack of transfer business in this summer transfer window. I think up until this point, Solskjaer's not been backed enough. And I think he does deserve more backing as Manchester United manager, because Solskjaer's publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. And another one of my element of concerns is that there's teams around us that have been doing very, very good recruitment. But like I've said in general, we've been very critical of the board for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been and all of that. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012, so he's been with us around 8 years. And the Glazers have been with us since 2005. They've been with us around 15 years at the Glazers. And a lot of Manchester United fans have been demanding the board out. Some people think that Matt Judge is accountable for, some of the failures of transfers as well. Don't forget Patrice Evra the other week did a video, obviously criticising Woodward, the Glazers and Matt Judge. But I think, the biggest culprits are the Glazers, because, they're the ones that hired Ed Woodward in, and they also hired Matt Judge in. So hopefully, we can make a couple of more signings before the window shuts on Monday. So far at the football club, Solskjaer has spent around £240 million. Last summer brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January, bought Bruno Fernandes and Odin Igalo in. And recently brought Donny van der Beek in. He's also brought a few academy players into the football club. So I've got to say he has made some good signings as Solskjaer. I also like the way he has promoted the youth, because Solskjaer's had a habit of developing young homegrown talent since he's taken over the reins at Manchester United. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the club. We've seen a lot of players leave since Solskjaer came in. We've seen the likes of Lukaku leave, Sanchez. They were obviously, two big names. We let Herrera leave. He was a big name. I think we made a mistake by getting rid of Ander Herrera and Romelu Lukaku, though. We should have kept them two players because they were good for us. But we made the right decision getting rid of Sanchez. Fellaini left in January 2019. He was the first player to leave under the Solskjaer era. Darmian left last summer. Valencia and Yunt also left the club. Andres Pereira, he was the most recent player to leave Manchester United, was Andres Pereira. He's obviously gone to Lazio on a one-season loan. There's an option to buy for just over £24 million, and it includes an option of a 5-year contract worth around £35,000 a week. We've also loaned a few players out. We obviously needed to loan a few players out so they can get regular first-team football. We loaned Tahith Chong out to Werder Bremen. We loaned Dylan Levitt out, and I think we loaned Joe Pereira out again for another season. So there's positive to take from his tenure, there really, really is. I think there's certain players that have improved under him as well. We've had some good periods under Solskjaer. Don't forget we went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions. We also went on a 14-game unbeaten run in the league. We also did well in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager. So there's positives to take. I think what Solskjaer's got to improve on is his decision-making. Because in a lot of games at Manchester United, he has been very tactically naive. He really, really has. Solskjaer has won 51 games as Manchester United manager out of the 92 games he has managed. Throughout the course of this summer transfer window, we've also been finding departures difficult, haven't we? But it said, we could sell up to 7 players before Monday's deadline. Like I said, Pereira's just recently gone. The players that are linked with a move away from Man United, obviously, Jesse Lingard, he's one. Chris Smalling, he's another one. I think that Roma, by the way, have put a new bid in for Smalling. Is it for £15 million with add-ons included? They put their first bid in of £12 million, but this had been turned down by us because we want around £18 million for Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling, don't forget, was out on loan with Roma last season. And during our Europa League campaign, Solskjaer was talking about Smalling, saying that he was in regular contact with him whilst he was out on loan. And he said at that point, he does still have a future at Manchester United. But Smalling's been part of the club for several years. He's been with us for around 9 or 10 years now or something like that. Phil Jones, he's another player that we're looking to offload. I think we'd probably demand around 10 or just over £10 million for him. You know, we got Phil Jones from Blackburn. Back in 2011? We paid just over £16 million for him. And I think this is now his 10th season at Manchester United. Rojo, he's also another player we're looking to get rid of. Marcos Rojo, yeah. Because he hasn't really established himself as a first-team regular, Rojo, since he came in. We got him from Sporting Lisbon, was it, back in 2014 for £16 million. And Rojo sustained a few injuries as a Man United player. I think Rojo's current contract with us does expire next year, and last season he was out on loan with Estudiantes. You know, Diego Dalot, he's another player, you know, that he's another player we're looking to get rid of. Last time I read about Dalot was yesterday. It says AC Milan have inquired about getting him on loan. This was stemming from Damasio, who's an Italian journalist, and Fabrizio Romano said it includes an option to buy. But the likes of Everton, PSG, and Barcelona have inquired about Diego Dalot. You know, Diego Dalot can't get in our team now anyway, because you've got Bissaka, that's our first choice right back, and you've got Fosu Mensah, that's our backup right back. So Dalot can't get in the team. Dalot's been at the club a few years now. We got him in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid £19 million for him from Porto. Dalot has still got a contract of us till 2023. And in the first part of last season, he had back-to-back injuries. Sergio Romero, he's also open to leaving the football club. Because obviously now Romero is third choice goalkeeper, isn't he? And Romero doesn't want to stay at Manchester United as third choice goalkeeper. There's obviously been rumours of Daniel James leaving the club. I think if we get Sancho, another winner in Daniel James, will leave. Leeds United are the ones that have been interested in Daniel James. They've inquired about getting him on loan. I heard that they were preparing to put a £12 million bid in for him. Don't forget, back in January 2019, Leeds came close to getting Daniel James, didn't they? But we got him last June for around £18 million, and James signed a 5-year deal with us with an option of a further year. So very imperative, that more players are offloaded. You already know the news on Alex Telles, don't you, from Porto? He could actually, be our second signing this summer transfer window. Mohamed Bouafsi recently said from RMC Sport that Man United have put a second bid in for him. I think we've offered around €10 million, I heard, which equates to around £8 million, but there's add-ons included. It recently said that we've put a £12 million bid in for Alex Telles. But Man United and Porto are around £6 million short of their valuations, because Porto have said that they want around £18 million. They've already lowered their asking price, because Porto said at the first they wanted in the £20 million range. But Telles has agreed terms on a 5-year contract with Manchester United worth £70,000 a week. And I said it's very beneficial if Manchester United can get a left-back in. But in this summer transfer window, we have missed out on a lot of our targets, haven't we? We missed out on Reguilon, he went to Tottenham. We missed out on Bale, he went back to Tottenham. We missed out on Jack Grealish, because a few weeks ago he signed a 5-year deal. Back in January, we missed out on Erling Haaland. We also missed out on Jude Bellingham. There's players that we've been in for over the years who should have come to Manchester United, and they didn't, obviously. I think there was players we missed out on under the Mourinho era. Under the Moyes era, we should have got Fabregas, didn't. Should have got Thiago, didn't. Fabregas, Thiago. Toni Kroos, he was also another one. And, there was players under Sir Alex Ferguson here we went in for who we should have signed. Ramsey, should have got him back in 2008. At one point, went in for Alan Shearer years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So there you go. This season is obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. And like I said at the start of this season, this is a big season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Solskjaer knows that he's got to exceed his expectations if he is to remain Manchester United manager. I don't really have a perception on him at the moment. I've got a bit of perception, but not a lot of a perception. We haven't had a good start to the season, let's be honest. We lost our opening game against Crystal Palace 3-1. That was our worst defeat on an opening day of a Premier League season since 1995. But then we bounced back, to be fair, with a 3-0 win against Luton. Weren't fantastic in that, and then we grinded a 3-2 win out against Brighton at the weekend. In reality, people will say that game should have been a draw, that Brighton game. So we haven't had a good start to the season, and I presume that there's been Manchester United fans that have been criticising Solskjaer for this. But we need to delve more into the season first, and then I'll know if he is the right manager for Manchester United. There's quite a few Man United fans that don't think he's the right manager for the club, but if we did sack Solskjaer, who would come in to replace him? Now, obviously, before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March last year, there was a lot of talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in. Don't forget, Massimiliano Allegri at one point was linked with a managerial role at Man United. At one point, Zinedine Zidane was linked with a managerial role at Man United and that. So some Man United fans think we've got to get a manager in with a proven pedigree. I'm hopeful that Manchester United can win a trophy this season, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. And I think we'll be expected to finish in the top 4 this season. So Solskjaer, to remain at Manchester United, he's got to obviously get us to a top 4 finish and win a trophy. If he doesn't do this, then I think he will be sacked as Manchester United manager, like Roy Keane was recently saying. I think we do need at least a couple of more signings if we are to mount any title challenge up this season. I think we are at least 3 to 4 years off from winning the Premier League. We really, really are. Maybe even longer. We have not won the Premier League since 2013. So last time we won it was in Sir Alex Ferguson's last season. So we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. But Solskjaer was saying prior to this season starting, he said that we've got a lot of confidence going on to this season from where we left off last season. Because to be fair, last season he did exceed most of his expectations. He progressed to 3 semi-finals. We also finished 3rd. And we got qualification for the Champions League. And at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, didn't we? Don't forget. And I thought at that point Solskjaer was going to get sacked as Manchester United manager. And don't forget, when Solskjaer first came in, he was inheriting a squad that was worth £700 million. You know what I mean? I think Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left on his current contract. But like I said, there's a lot of players that we will keep at Manchester United because there's still good players in our team. There really, really is. Martial's very, very good. Marcus Rashford, he's very, very good. They've both improved under Solskjaer. Greenwood's done very, very well. He's the foreseeable future. Williams has done very, very well. He's our backup left back at the moment. Fred, McTominay, Matic have all improved under Solskjaer. Pogba, he did well towards the end of last season, but I think he's had a pretty bad start to the season as Paul Pogba. Like I said, Van der Beek's done well since he's come in. Bruno Fernandes has done really, really well since he's come in. Luke Shaw's also really improved. Luke Shaw's just got to improve his fitness, hasn't he? Bissaka, he's always been a good right back. We've just got to see more attacking intent from him because that's what he's lacking at the moment is Antoine Bissaka. Mata, I know he doesn't get in the team lot now, but when he does, he still makes a fantastic impact. I think Ighalo's done quite well, to be fair, since he came in on deadline day. He was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. I think, was it just after the first lockdown, we'd extended Odion Ighalo's loan till January 2021. So we've got good players in our team, So that's a good thing. And I think as our team stands at the moment, it's definitely good enough to win a trophy and finish in the top 4, obviously. Earlier on today, I obviously give you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Brighton tonight, didn't I? Like I said, Tino Solskjaer will make changes from the win against Brighton at the weekend. In the last round against Luton, when we beat them 3-0, Solskjaer must have made around 10 changes in that game. But go watch my starting 11 prediction video. I think the Carabao Cup is a priority for us, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. You know, because it's a chance for us winning a trophy, isn't it? But it won't be easy. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.